Hey, you guys. So, I just got back from doing a massage and I was driving home after being on the table for an hour and being in massive amounts of pain. My PT person suggested that I get a massage focused on releasing my piriformis muscles in my butt, and then of course my hip, like my hip flexors and my IT band. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But it all ties in, right? So I'm laying there on the table and I'm like seriously in a ton of pain. Hi, Beverly, as the massage therapist, who is a new person to me. And I'm sure my makeup is like full on messed up because I've been laying face down for the last hour. But whatever. But I'm laying there and I'm like thinking in my head, like, and I'm breathing, right? I'm really good and very conscious about my body. I'm very in touch with my body, but I'm always very curious too. So when something hurts and he's working on something, I'm asking like, what muscle is that? Because I'm learning so much about muscles right now and how they all tie together and how they all tie in. But I'm laying there and I'm thinking, girl, you are paying this boy to hurt you right now. Like, this is painful. And, I'm telling him, hi, Cindy. I'm telling him, because he asked, well, what are we working on and what's going on? So I told him, what I've been going through, because he's a new therapist to me. Mine was on vacation and my next appointment with her isn't until the 26th. And so even since I've seen her, my body's undergone massive change with all the adjustments that I've been having with PT. So, of course, my piriformis muscles, which are the muscles that run in your hips and back and tie into the sacrum, are just, they're pissed off. So my butt muscles have been pissed off, and my left leg has been numb and tingly until last night. I had my dad pulsing on my sacrum area to try and get it to move and unlock. But I scheduled a massage for today with somebody new tonight because I've been in so much pain. I could barely sit. I couldn't stand. I couldn't lay down. I mean, like, it was horrible. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous, Bernadette. Like, you're paying a lot of money right now to be put through so much pain. And when I was driving home, and of course I'm talking to Spirit the whole time I'm on the table and I'm breathing and I'm just like telling my muscles, just please release, please let go, please stop being bound up. Like everything hurt. Every muscle he's trying to get to just unwind is like resisting. And so, of course, me, I'm looking at the lesson for all of this and looking for the messages, and Spirit said transformations like that, right? When you want to change something, but it's been this way for so long, and then you go about restructuring and changing and releasing and moving things around in our lives, it's painful. It's painful. I mean, obviously not physically painful when we're doing emotional work and working on our egos, or going through breakups or going through a home change or a job change, but it's still painful, right? Like, change is painful. Transformation, it's painful. Even when you're going towards something that you desire and you really want, the changes that you undergo within your emotions and your mindset, right? It's painful because we've been a certain way for so long. Like, my muscles have been just in my back end. They've been messed up since I was 18. Let's get real. Like, I broke my hip, had a horse step on my left iliac crest when I was 18, and it broke it. They wanted to pin it. I said no. Thankfully, I said no. My PT person said, good thing you said no, or you'd have really bad arthritis right now. So grateful that I did say no, but that threw my pelvis off. Then I had children, and then I broke my tailbone in childbirth, and I fell on my tailbone other times and fractured it, but nothing like what I did 3 years ago. So all of the muscles that tie into that sacrum area, and running across my back and all the nerve endings, right? And there's a lot of nerve endings near your tailbone that tie into your legs and tie into your hips. They're used to being in a certain position. And I'm sure you guys can relate, right? We are used to being a certain way. So that someone like me comes along and you start to work with someone like me and you're like, I do want change. I do want a better life. I do want my dreams to manifest. And I have you go through the dirty work, facing your ego and your shadows, and let's dig up those old beliefs. And while we're going through that stuff and unlayering it, kind of like the unlayering they're doing with my muscle manipulations right now for my tailbone, while we do that dirty work of bringing it up and bringing it to consciousness and unburying it, it can be painful. Change, transformation, it can be painful, but the pain is temporary. And that's what I kept telling myself on the table tonight. Like, dude, it's temporary. You can do this. Like, yes, it hurts, but the pain that I have endured in trying to restructure my muscles, get them to work differently, get my sacrum to actually move and not be locked into place. While it's painful, this process of unlayering and unlocking, it is painful, physically painful, and at times emotionally trying. In the end, what the outcome is for me is freedom of movement, freedom to sit down, to stand up, to lay down, right? And to get back to physical activities I haven't been able to do for the last 3 years. When we go through emotional and spiritual and mental transformation, it's the same thing, which is why I wanted to jump on here, because this is like top of mind for me right now. And Spirit was talking to me the whole way home. Like, it's no different than when, you're going through a metamorphosis in your own mindset, when you're up leveling, right? When you're shifting, when you're changing, it can be painful. First of all, because you have to look at all of these things that you didn't even know, right? And for a lot of people, like, you get into this place of unforgiveness with yourself. Why did I waste so much time? How many of you have done that, right? Like, you start to work with me or someone like me, you start to go and face your shadows and look at the mindset and the beliefs that have kept you locked into settling for things in life that weren't in your highest good, or you recognize where you're attached to things that aren't really good for you. And when you realize it, you're like, oh my God, I've caused myself all of that pain. Why? And then that becomes painful. Then you have to work through that, and you have to unlayer that, and you have to forgive that, and then you have to do the work of daily, right? Daily reminding yourself not to slip into the old thinking, not to slip into the old ways of feeling, not to slip into the old stories. It's no different than what I'm going through physically right now. Like, the only difference is I'm enduring physical pain as I restructure the muscles in my body and where my bone placements are. But I've been through it on an emotional level, and I've been through it on a mental level, and I've been through it, in shifting jobs and shifting relationships and homes and everything else. Hi, Terry. So I just want to remind all of you, right? Any kind of change, any kind of transformation, whether you're trying to lose weight or get in shape, right? You're retraining your body, whether you're trying to break addictions or you're moving on from unhealthy patterns, unhealthy relationships, it can be painful. It can be painful because you're used to doing things a certain way. And my God, it's really uncomfortable when we force a change and a transformation and force ourselves out of our comfort zone. And while, I'm sure I could have stayed, I can stay semi-functional, dysfunctionally with all of where my body's been, and just get along. It's not going to give me what I really want, which is freedom of movement. Goodness, yes, my old beliefs. Working on it. Yeah, the ego loves to sit there and tell you, just go back to the old ways. I mean, believe me, I was on the table and I was like, just tell him it's too hard. Tell him he's pushing too hard. Tell him it hurts too much. Knowing that if I don't endure the pain right now, if I don't endure the pain of getting those muscles to loosen up, to stretch, and to become unknotted, if I don't endure that pain right now, I'm going to live in a very, very uncomfortable place permanently, so I have to look at the long term. And that's what I want you guys to think about. Like, yeah, you can sit in a place of running from your fears and allowing your belief systems to remain intact the way they always have. You can remain stuck and set in your ways. Or you can endure some discomfort right now, and you can face those shadows, and you can face, the challenges and the fears head on and just deal with temporary discomfort, temporary pain as you restructure and reframe and heal your life and reach the ultimate goal, which is transformation and the freedom to be who you really are meant to be, which is walking with divine and walking in a place of unlimited potential and infinite possibilities, where what you want easily comes to you as you walk towards it, but in the meanwhile, until you get there, I know it's painful, just like what I'm going through. This shit is painful. I wish I didn't have to go through it, but choices I made in my early life have brought me to this place physically. Having accidents brought me to this place physically. Speaking stupid things out of my mouth like that's a pain in my ass, and then breaking my ass, created this. And now I need to uncreate it, which means I have to go through the pain, right? So no different than what I help you guys with. And I get it. I'm thinking you can't be mad at the therapist. You can't be mad that you're paying him money to unlock these muscles. You can't be mad at the PT person who's doing everything she can to help put your pelvis back in place and get it all to move, right? You can't. So seriously, I know whether it's mental pain, emotional pain, or physical pain. When we want transformation, when we want change, we have to endure temporary discomfort to get to the end goal, which is freedom and, limitless possibilities instead of limitation. And honestly, that's what I keep talking to Spirit about. Is like, this is really painful stuff. This is really getting old. I mean, it's made me very exhausted going through having this amount of pain like every day as things are moving. And it's funny because my muscles, as screwed up as they've been in my bone structure, they were comfortable in that position. They got used to it. And while I had inflammation and whatnot, like enduring these heightened periods of pain, like an hour a day of going through these therapies and doing exercises and having people poking at sore muscles to get them to unwind. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, man, do I really need to be doing this? It'd be so much easier just to take a pill and just pretend it's not there. But then I'm not fixing the problem. And I think in society, and I think in life in general, we do that with our emotional stuff. We do that with our mental stuff, with our belief systems. It's like with our relationships, with our money. We're like, well, maybe it's not working, but the pain of having to shift it, to change it, to transform it, I'm not committed to, and then we fail. And then we beat ourselves up because we didn't endure that temporary pain. So let me just remind all of you, right? Like, everything that we want to shift and change that's been locked down and stuck for a very long time will be temporarily painful as you unlock it, as you shift it, and as you change it. But in the end, you get the transformation. In the end, you get the freedom, right? I urge clients who are just getting sober to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Absolutely. Sometimes you really do. Like, I'm laying on the table tonight during this massage and I'm like, just embrace the pain. Do it. It hurts and I love it. Just embrace the pain, Bernadette, because in the end, it's the pain and discomfort is giving you what you want, which is mobility and freedom to sit normally and to stand normally and to walk normally. But man, it just it brought back so many times when I was emotionally and mentally uncomfortable, when I was mentally and emotionally weighed down, and my mind just wants to tell me I can't do it. My ego wants to say, this is too much. It's just too much. Just be a pussy. Just opt out. You don't need to do it now. Like, it's even laying on the massage table, I'm sitting there saying that, like, it's too much. Just tell him not so much pressure. He goes, I know it hurts. I can feel how tight it is. He's like, but if we don't do this, it's just going to stay like that. So he's like, just tell me if you really can't take it, but just breathe through it. Breathe through it. So I was... deep breaths, right? And that's what we have to do. We have to breathe through our pains. We have to breathe through the discomfort. My doctor wants me to take meds. I don't want to for Meniere's. She makes me feel so bad. I don't let doctors make me feel bad for shit. Look, here's the deal. Because I have been bucking the medical system since I was 18. Literally. I don't know what it is about me personally. When I was 18, and I broke my hip, the first thing they said is, you're going to get a pin in your hip. And I'm like, you're not cutting me open. I'm not signing that paperwork. And that was my first AMA, right? Against medical advice. That was my first one. And I've had several since. I don't listen to doctors. Doctors listen to me when I tell them, because I go in educated and I tell them my symptoms and I tell them what I think it is. And then I tell them what I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do. We have our own rights and we have to be our own advocates, right? So I don't let doctors tell me what to do at all. And I can feel into whether a doctor knows what the hell they're talking about or they don't. Doctors told me that I couldn't carry a baby full to term and that I wouldn't have kids and that I should have a hysterectomy at 23 years old. And by 25, I had my first kid, right? And they said, well, even if you get pregnant, you're not going to carry full term. Guess what? She's going to be 28 in October. And then at 35, I had a second one. Right? Oh, you're too old, you're too high risk, blah, blah, blah. I had that one at home. So I don't care what doctors say. Sometimes, like my Oriental doctor back in Colorado used to say, Western medicine's good for diagnosing sometimes, but the treatment, they don't treat the cause. And for me, I want to know the cause, right? So I don't always listen to what doctors have to say. And I'm not I'm not trying to diss doctors. It's just... some doctors aren't willing to look at a way to heal things, right? But that's like way off topic. So it's not that I defy all odds. I just like to go beyond just the conventional way and traditional way of doing things. I believe that we've lost a lot of the wisdom. And I tune into my body, but I know my body well enough to know when something's right and when something's not. I can feel into it. And I trust my gut. I trust my intuition. So if I don't feel like taking medication, I ain't going to take it. And I don't feel like having a pin put in my hip, I'm not going to do it, right? I don't need a second opinion. I got me. I have to trust that. But, I want you all to get there, but here's the thing. Like the one thing that truly, like, the messages just kept coming through and I had to jump on and share with you, and I'd really rather be like sleeping right now, not that that's going to happen for a while, is this. Just remember, whatever you're going through, whether it's financial or it's with a relationship or you're breaking bad patterns or old patterns, you're moving, you're changing jobs, you're taking on a new lifestyle with eating, and you're getting rid of addictions, no matter how painful it is, because believe me, I know people with addiction that go through such massive physical, mental, and emotional pain when they're detoxing, that they want to hurt somebody as much as they're hurting, and they want to quit. You can't quit. That's temporary. Like, literally, the pain you endure as you're making a change and you're going through transformation, it's temporary. temporary pain as you're grieving, temporary pain as you're letting go, temporary pain as you're restructuring your mind, and even temporary pain with your belief systems when you're changing your mindset. It's temporary. And if you can keep pushing through the temporary pain, you get to that long-term fulfillment. You really do. The payoff is great, and you don't want to quit. Like, as bad as it may hurt, it only hurts for a bit, and then it feels better. And each time you go through another layer of shift and change, it gets easier and less painful and easier every day, you know. And for those of you who suffer with, you know, anxiety and depression, and you feel some days like, I just can't take anymore. It's too painful. It's too much. It's too hard. I've been there too. And I can tell you, it's the same thing as what I'm going through with my damn butt, right? My hip, my pelvis. Like, temporarily, you're unhappy. Don't give it a label. Temporarily, you're anxious and uncomfortable. Long term, you're going to get to that place of peace, but you've got to face and deal with and address the core issues, right? Face those things. Temporary pain, long-term fulfillment, and push, push, push. You can do it. Like, really, I applaud all of you who are making changes in your life at whatever level. Like, we each go through layer upon layer of change. For me right now, it's all physical, right? Whoa! I'm not going to say that I would prefer it to be mental or emotional, because I've already been there, and I'm good. So, yeah. Get a hotspot from your phone provider? I don't even know what you're talking about. You guys must be talking about something different. Anyways, whoever needs to hear that tonight, I hope that helps you. For those of you who may be hitting spots in the upcoming week, and I know some of you will, especially after this week's reading and forecast, and just the month of August is all about change and transformation. When you hit those painful spots, when you hit those spots where you think nobody understands what I'm going through, you know, I feel very alone, and it hurts, and I'm not strong enough, and oh my God, I can't take anymore. You can. You really can. One breath at a time, one moment at a time. And before you know it, you're on the other side of it, and you're going to be very, very happy that you stuck with the process and just dealt with the pain. That was temporary, because the reward at the end of it is that freedom that you're looking for. Freedom for whatever you're creating. You know, whether that's freedom from lack, freedom from an abusive situation. Yeah. But I'm telling you, whether you're just up-leveling or you're trying to heal something in your body, heal something in your life, it's all the same. And yes, it is painful while it's being addressed. And then in the end, it's like, okay, cool. You know, every day is getting slightly easier. It's just, you know, focused therapies like massage. Here, let's unlock these muscles that have been locked for 3 years. It's painful. And I could opt out. I really, honestly, it's not required for me to do massage therapy, but it's necessary. It's like, it's necessary for me to reach the goal, which is healing, right? And for everybody, like, you have to remember, whatever you're letting go of or changing or shifting through, sometimes that pain is absolutely necessary, and then you're free from it. And you look back and just go, look at what I did, right? So I hope that helps. I know a lot of you are going through changes right now, and changes it's uncomfortable and painful sometimes, and it makes you want to quit, because sometimes you think you're just not strong enough. Feels like it's never going to end. In that moment where the pressure's on, you're like, you know, I can't take anymore. I'm just going to go back to the way it was. I don't care if it's dysfunctional. I don't care. You know, you do care. Just like I care, right? You do care. You just feel weak. And what I will tell you is this: embrace the pain, embrace the weakness, be okay with it, be okay with the discomfort, and acknowledge the discomfort. Don't pretend that it's not there. Embrace it and keep moving through it. And pretty soon, it won't hurt anymore, and it'll be much easier, right? Change is hard, but trying to keep my head up. And that's all you can do. And that's perfect. And that's a lot. Like, honestly, that's a lot. It's a lot to keep your head up sometimes when you're going through shit. It's a lot. Change is very uncomfortable. I don't want to cause anyone pain. I also realize I have to take care of myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, that's the other thing too. Sometimes when we go through changes and we choose us above other people, we feel like we're hurting them. But, here's a Bernadette reminder for all of you. You are not responsible for how other people process their stuff. For all the pain you cause them is going to cause them growth. It's going to cause them to wake up. You're a catalyst for them. Like that's the other possibility here. So don't be afraid and don't prejudge something and don't take the weight of the world onto your shoulders thinking, well, yeah, but if I choose me and I go through my own changes and make changes because it's something I need, I'm going to hurt somebody. That hurt for them may very well be the catalyst they need to shift and change and pivot their lives. So don't judge it. Just don't. And do what you got to do, right? Work through your own pain. Work through what's the Bible say? Work through your own salvation with fear and suffering. With the fear and the suffering. That's how I always read that. That's how Spirit always tells me. So you got to take care of you. They got to take care of them. We each have to endure our own pain. I mean, every time I tell my daughter how much my butt hurts, she's like, I wish I could do something. I wish I could take it for you. I'm like, don't wish that upon yourself. And don't think like that. Like, I don't need you to take it for me. Right? I wouldn't want to give what I'm feeling right now in my body to somebody else. Like, how's that going to help? It's not going to fix my body for someone else to feel my pain at all. I'm going to have to feel it because it's my body that needs to readjust, and painful process. Life's a bitch sometimes. And then it's not. And then you celebrate, right? So, yeah. You can't take on other people's pain for the sake of not hurting them when they probably are already hurting themselves in one way or another. So don't take that guilt on for yourself. Okay? I hope that helps you guys. I had to jump on and get that out because I was having such a funny conversation with Spirit in my head as I was getting my massage, and then on the way home I was just like, oh my God. If people heard the conversations I had with you, Spirit, y'all would either be dying laughing or you would think I'm crazy, or both, which, I'm okay with too. But yeah, it's a good reminder for me because, boy, this week I was like, I'm just going to cancel all my appointments and just live with this. I'm not going to keep going through this pain, the ups and downs of feeling good one day and not feeling good the next day and having energy one day and then I'm in so much pain. I have no energy. I can't focus, blah, 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 all this whining. But, truly, when I look back to where I was a month ago, every day, something's shifting and changing. They're little micro adjustments. Truly, everything that I'm doing right now, it's micro adjustments, little tiny changes. But in the overall structure of the changes I'm making, they're huge. And they're foundational. Truly, they're foundational for my body. And in the long run, because I saw this woman at the grocery store yesterday. I was telling Bella, this woman had to have been in her 80s or something, 70s. I don't even know. She's an old woman. She's all hunched over, literally walking like this and walking, shuffling side to side. Her hips are locked in place and she's curled over. And I looked at Bella and said, I don't want to be like that when I'm that age. Like, that's why I'm going through this right now. I don't want to walk like that. I don't want to be bent over and immobilized. I want to be active and vibrant until my last breath. And so, yeah, going to take some pain, right? But I also want to be happy, which is why I continue to do that work on myself to unlayer any hidden ego BS or fear. Like, I want to be that woman at 80 years old jumping out of airplanes and doing crazy stuff, right? I'm chasing around the young fellas. That's who I want to be. So seriously, like, I'm going to have to endure some pain right now to retrain my body. And for some of you, it's you retraining your thoughts. Others of you, it's you forgiving, the past. And for some of you, it's addiction stuff. You're going to have to detox and go through the pain, physical, mental, and emotional. You get all of them when you're detoxing from an addiction, like drugs or alcohol. Like, you got to go through the pain. And you feel like it's never going to end. But that's not true. It does end. So, it's like the lady who was carrying the weight of the world on her back. God, I know. Yeah, it's just crazy, 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 crazy to me. And I'm fortunate that there are people that have to live like that. Like, I'm constantly on my dad about his posture, trying to retrain him. Like, take your wallet out of your back pocket, damn it. He's like, how do I wear it in the front? I don't know, but figure it out. Get a fanny pack. Get a man purse. He's so not into that. But he is trying to shift. At least he's like, I've had it in my right pocket for so long, I'll put it in my left. So he's trying. Old dog, new tricks, right? Yeah. Anyways. Okay, that was it. I love you guys. Crazy how messages come through. The last place I thought I was going to be getting messages for you guys is while I was on the massage table. But, Spirit works the way Spirit works. So, I'm with you. I'm behind you. Whatever you're going through, just know I got my own stuff going on. I'm powering through it with the help of Spirit. And also, just constantly being on top of my own mind and pushing myself forward and being my own cheerleader. So be your own cheerleader. Just tell yourself, I can do this. I am doing this. Like, no joke, I'm doing this. Like, it hurts, but I'm still doing this. And then at the end of the day, look at yourself in the mirror while you're brushing your teeth and brushing your hair. Good job. You did it. Give yourself the acknowledgement and the praise, because you can't get it from other people. It needs to come from within. All right, I'm proud of you. Whatever you are going through, I'm there with you, and I am cheering you on. So you are your own best support, absolutely. But sometimes it does help to know that you have people behind you that are rooting for you. And I want all of you to know that follow me, even if I don't know your name. Like, my prayers include anyone who watches me and talks to me, and anyone who's praying, God, I just want to feel loved. I just want a little help in the world, to get through today. I pray for everybody. So, you have my silent prayers, you have my support, and I am cheering you on. And if you are one of my clients that I actually talk to and work with, you guys know for reals, like, I got your back, always. And sometimes all it takes for me is a little prayer. It's amazing the mountains it can move. If I told you guys what I've been able to create this week with, like, large things in groups of people, you would laugh your butts off. So, you are my cheerleaders too. Yes. I mean, honestly, you guys, if it wasn't for you guys, and knowing that there's a group of people that look forward to getting fed through me from Spirit, I think sometimes I get pretty lazy about really tuning in and asking for messages. So you guys are mine, and you're always super supportive no matter what I come on and talk about. And I love that. I love that you guys are positive, and I love that you're supportive, and I love that I can come and talk to you guys, and I don't have a bunch of haters. I'm not going to say that I don't have any, because I do. And I have some stalkers. I have some people wishing me to fail, but the ones that are supportive far outweigh all the rest, So, yeah, life is good. Anyways, onward, upward. We're going through changes this month. That is the month of August. Let's hang together and just remember these little lessons. And I'll keep them coming as Spirit gives them to me. All right? Have a good night, you guys. I'll see you later.